We start in place. So we have past paper economics 2019. Okay. Yeah, so question one. We start with question one. So, which one of the following is a factor of production? Factor of production are resources that helps in the production of goods and services. We have land, we have labor, we have capital, we have enterprise. So land is there, right?
Yes.
So the answer is land. Okay, we move on. B, they said a firm has a total fixed cost. Please listen now. A firm has a total fixed cost of $40,000 per month and the variable cost of $150 per unit. If it produces 1,000 units, what are the total costs per month for the firm? First, what is your total fixed cost? Your total fixed cost is 40,000. Your total variable cost is 150. The units produced is 1,000. So to get your variable cost, it will be 1,000 multiplied by the amount of each unit, which is 150,000. Then we have our fixed cost to be 40,000. And the formula for total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. So 150,000 plus 40,000, 190,000. Clear? So go to question 3. So what is demand? The term demand. Demand is the quantity of goods. Sorry, please. Hello. You're not supposed to do anything on that past paper. You're not supposed to, because I need to mark them. What is demand? Demand is the quantity of goods and services consumers are willing to buy at a given price and time. That is demand. The quantity or the amount of goods or services consumers are willing and able to buy at a given price and time. Is it clear?
Yes.
We'll move on to question C. Now D. As I said, state the formula for social cost. Social cost is your external cost plus your private cost. Please let me just talk, okay? Let me talk, please. Is it clear, please? All right, go on to question. So go to the formula for social cost. Social cost, remember, social cost is the cost of the society. So when we talk about the cost of the society, we're talking about the cost to the third party and the cost to the action, to those who take the action, which can be an individual, which can be the firm, which can be the government. It's not. Private costs are costs for individuals, firms, or government. External costs are the costs to the third party. So we wouldn't talk about third party, we wouldn't talk about individuals, we wouldn't talk about firms, we wouldn't talk about government without talking about social costs. So the combination of external costs and private costs is social cost. Is it clear?
Yes.
Is it clear, please? Yeah. Go to E. They said, define the term tertiary sector. When we talk about tertiary sector, it's just that sector of the economy that provides services. The section of the economy or the sector of the economy that provides services. Is it clear? Or you could say the provision of services. It's still the same. Do you have any question about that? We'll move on. Then we'll go to what? No, we'll do that later, not now, please. Then we'll go to. Okay, tell me what you write. What did you write? What? Thank you. Well, so that's about that. So we go to average cost. Here they say we have the quantity, we have the total fixed cost, we have the total variable cost. Here we are told to find the average cost. The formula for average cost is total cost divided by output. Average cost is what? Total cost divided by output. So the first thing we have to note, first you write the formula out. AC equals to TC divided by output. Then, how do we get AC? We can't get to AC without finding the TC. So TC is what? TFC plus TVC. AC is what? TFC plus TVC. So how do we get our TC? What is our FC? 7,340 plus VC is 4,760. The total gives us 12,100. So that is our total cost. Then we go back to the question. The question says we should find the average cost. To get the average cost now, we check the unit produced. The unit is 2,000. So we have AC, which is what? TC divided by output. Then 12,100 divided by 2,000. So we get 6.05. Is it clear, please? Is it clear, please? Or I should repeat it? Yeah. I should repeat, okay. You're told to find the average cost. Average cost is total cost divided by output. But you can't get, there's no average cost here. But we need to find average cost. So what are the derivatives needed for average cost? So how do we get average cost? We say total cost. From total cost, we can get the average cost. Because total cost is the cost of all that was produced. Average cost is the unit of the cost. So to get the unit, you need to find the total. So to get the total, it is your fixed plus your variable. So your fixed is known, your variable is known. Your fixed is 7,340, your variable is 4,760. You add them together, it gives you 12,100. That is your total cost. Then you divide by the output, which is 2,000. Then you get each unit. Yeah, 6.05. Yeah, thank you. Is it clear, please? Yes. You move on. Yeah, this using the diagram, draw the effects on the market for crops after hurricane destroys farmland. Label the new curve, new equilibrium price, and new equilibrium quantity. So please take note here. Hurricane destroys. So that means if these are one factors that could, it's a weather condition. Please, right there, I want you to focus on it, please. Weather condition, one of the factors that could affect the quantity supplied in the market is weather condition. So this is unfavorable weather condition. Hurricane is an unfavorable weather condition. So it will reduce supply in the market. So we're going to have a shift in supply leftward or upward from S to S1. Is it clear? So that's a leftward shift from S to S1. At the same time, there's going to be an increase in the equilibrium price. We're going to have higher equilibrium price because there's less supply in the market. A less supply will mean an increase in price. So with this graph, we're going to have a leftward shift, a new curve from S to S1 leftward, and an increase in price, a higher equilibrium price. Is it clear? So the new equilibrium price will be at P1. The new equilibrium quantity will be at Q1. Do you understand? The quantity supplied in the market will reduce from QE to Q1. The price in the market will rise from PE to P1. The supply curve will shift leftward from S to S1. Is it clear? Yes. Do you have any question about that, please? We'll move on. Now, they said, explain one reason why the demand for these tickets. Okay, yeah, they said concert tickets to see the most popular music artists can sell for very high prices. Explain one reason why the demand for these tickets might be price inelastic. When we talk about price inelastic, first you need to understand what the question is saying before you answer it. Price inelastic means that there is no significant change in the quantity demanded as a result of a change in price. Price inelastic means what? There's no significant change in the quantity demanded as a result of a change in price. That means no matter what the price increases to, consumers will still buy. Is it clear? So what can be a reason why an increase in season ticket, in concert tickets will still be priced inelastic? Here I wrote, there might be no substitute. That's the first thing. There might be what? No substitute for that concert. So maybe customers do not have any other choice than to watch this concert, especially if they need to see the artist perform live. So that means the only opportunity to see that artist perform live is going to the concert. So that means there's no substitute to see the artist perform live. Do we understand this? Yes. Is it clear? So the point is that the demand for these tickets will be priced inelastic if there is no substitute for that type of concert. Being the fact that the artist is performing live, and if it's performing live, if it's there, it cannot be here. If it's there, it cannot be here. So for you to see him perform live or her perform live, you have to be there. So whatever price they sell, you would want to buy. Is it clear, please? Great. We'll move on. Then we have a case study of Coca-Cola. Rawasi, please read for me. Introduce the 1935. Please read.
Introducing the
Feces soft drink. Period, okay.
By 2009,
by 1995.
Increased Inca has grown to be a strong competitor of Coca-Cola. Inca Cola has a 32.9% market share compared to Coca-Cola's 32.0% in Italy.
By 2014, thank you. By 2014, Coca-Cola owned 48.5% of Inca Cola shares. So something happened after this. So that means at the end of 2014, Coca-Cola becomes one of the shareholders of Inca. That is the story. Do you get it? All right. So the question says, with reference to the data above that we've read and your knowledge of economics, analyze the possible reasons for Coca-Cola purchasing shares in Inca Cola, because Coca-Cola later bought shares from Inca Cola. So what can be the reasons why Coca-Cola purchased or buy shares from Inca? The first reason is, based on what we read in the abstract, Inca Cola is a strong competitor for Coca-Cola. Yes or no? So that's the first reason. Inca Cola is what? A competitor, a stronger competitor for Coca-Cola. Another reason is that Inca Cola has a slight high market share than Coca-Cola, which makes Inca Cola more investment attractive. What's that, please? Do you get what I'm saying? Because here we have 32.9 for Inca Cola, that's the market share for Inca Cola. Then Coca-Cola has 32%, which means Inca Cola is an attractive investment. So it's a business that is doing well than Coca-Cola based on the statistics. So that's number two. Number three, I wrote the purchase meant that Coca-Cola, okay, yeah. The third reason is that Coca-Cola would have bought the shares of Inca Cola to reduce its competitors, because Inca Cola is a strong competitor for Coca-Cola. So if Coca-Cola is buying shares of Inca Cola, it will reduce the number of competitors Coca-Cola has, especially the one that is taking the Peru market. Do we understand?
Yes.
Any question about that?
No.
And the last thing again, they said it's fizzy drink. So Coca-Cola taking over Inca Cola would mean that Coca-Cola has control of fizzy drinks in Peru. There are other fizzy drinks in Peru, not only Inca Cola, but Inca Cola is the strongest, which is also competing with Coca-Cola. And if Inca Cola is competing with Coca-Cola, it means Inca Cola is doing so well. Is it clear? Any question about that, please? We move on to question 2. They said, which of, are you there, please? All right. Question 2, they said, which one of the following is part of economic problem of scarcity? Before we go into that, what is an economy? What's an economy?
It's a market.
Economy is not a market. An economy is not a market. An economy is a system that is trying to solve the economic problem. Are you with me, guys? An economy is what? A system that is trying to solve the basic economic problem. So an economy is a country. I think it's clear. Please put this in your mind. Sit down properly, please. Do we get it, please? All right. So they could ask you what an economy is in exams. An economy is what? A system that is trying to solve the basic economic problem. Thank you. Now go to the question. The basic economic problems that the economy is trying to solve are what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. So here we have what to produce. The answer is B. Is it clear? We move on. They said a country is able to produce agricultural and non-agricultural goods. Its production possibility curve is shown in figure 3. We have the production possibility curve here. First, what is production possibility curve? Production possibility curve is a graph that shows the maximum in terms of the combination of goods that an economy can produce using all resources effectively or efficiently. They could ask you in the exams, what is a PPC? A PPC is what? A graph that shows the combination of goods an economy can produce if all resources are fully used or efficiently used. Is it clear, please? Now, let's look at it. So for the PPC, there's going to be outward shift and inward shift. But what we have here, they said, okay, let's look at the question before I go into it. They said, which one of the following points is not achievable that this economy cannot achieve? That means it's not possible for this economy to do. We have point W, point X, point Z, and point Y. At point W, it means more of agricultural goods are produced. It's still in between the PPC. So it only means that the economy is producing more of agricultural goods and less of non-agricultural goods. Please take note of this analysis. At point W, it means that the economy is producing more of agricultural goods, less of non-agricultural goods. At point Z, it means that the economy is producing more of non-agricultural goods and producing none of agricultural goods. I think that is clear. Yes. So it's still within the economy. And at point X, it means that the economy is producing almost the same. I don't know, or we say, yeah, it's producing almost the same at X of non-agriculture and non-agriculture. It's producing the same of agriculture and non-agriculture. The only point at which this economy cannot go is point Y. Because at point Y, there are no resources available to get to that point. Do you understand the PPC here? The maximum you can produce. So the maximum ends there. Anything above there, you cannot, because you don't have the resources to reach there. Is it clear, please? You go on. Why? Yes, thank you. C. Shall we move on, please? All right. Now we have C. Question C. They said, calculate the price elasticity of demand for a product. When price increases by 15% and the quantity demanded falls by 12%, you are advised to show your workings. Before we go into that, what is price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. The degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. That is price elasticity of demand. And the formula for price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded over percentage change in price. That's aside. Now, what we have here, they said there's an increase of 15%. An increase of 15% will mean that there is a certain 100% somewhere, which means 100 plus 15%. So we're going to have our P1 for price. We're going to have our P1 to be 100, our P2 to be 115. Just put your mind here now, please. Our P1, they said increase of 15%. An increase of 15% means there's a 100% somewhere that has increased by 15. So that means our P1 will be 100, our P2 will be 15. So will be 100 plus 15. So your P1 is 100, your P2 is 115. For the Q1, our Q1 will still be 100, our Q2 will be minus 100. That will be 100 minus 12, which is 88. Do we get it? So P1 is 100, P2 is 115. Q1 is 100, Q2 is 88. Now you say percentage change in the quantity demanded over percentage change in price. Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over P1. So we're going to have 88 minus 100 over 100 divided by 115 minus 100 over 100. Just keep quiet, please. Q2 minus Q1. Q2 is what? Q2 is 88. Yes or no? 100 minus 12. 88. So, yeah. So 88 minus 100 over 100 divided by 150 minus 100 over 100. 88 minus 100 will give you minus 12 over 100 divided by 150 minus 100 will give you 15 over 100. Then reciprocal. That means minus 12 over 100 multiplied by 100 over 15. 100 cancels 100. So you're going to have minus 12 divided by 15. Minus 12 divided by 15 will give you minus 0.8. Minus 0.8. Thank you. So the next one, please. They said, define the term innovation. When you talk about innovation, innovation is new ideas that lead to new production. New ideas that leads to production or new production process. That is what innovation is. ideas that lead to production of new goods, production of new services, production of new processes. Is it clear? Are you guys with me, please? Are you guys with me? Yeah. All right. Then we'll go on. They said, state one factor that will cause a demand curve to shift to the left. Listen, a shift in demand will be as a result of different reasons. One, it could be as a result of the availability of substitute goods. If substitute goods, the price of substitute goods, if the price of substitute goods increases, demand curve will shift leftward. If the price of substitute goods reduces, the demand curve will shift rightward. Are you getting it? So there are different. So let's talk about the reasons why the demand curve could shift to the left or to the right. Number one, the price of substitutes. Did they say we should shift it? Okay, to the left now. Yeah. For to the left, the first reason is not going to be just the price of substitute, a decrease in the price of substitutes. Do you get it? A decrease in the price of substitute will shift the supply curve leftward. What I'm saying is this: there's Coca-Cola, there's Pepsi. A reduction in the price of Pepsi will shift the demand curve of Coca-Cola leftward. Did you get it? Don't just try a shift availability of substitute. No, it will be as a result of a reduction in the price of substitute. That's one reason why the demand for a product will shift leftward. Another reason is reduction in advertising. If you stop advertising your product, consumers might not know about your product and the demand of your product will fall. Another reason is the level of income. If the level of your income falls, the demand for a product will reduce because your purchasing power will fall. Is it clear? They said stage one, I've given you three: decrease in level of income, decrease in advertisement, decrease in the price of substitute goods. Is it clear? Yes. And also decrease in population. If the population of a country reduces, it could affect the demand for products. Yes or no? Right. Then we go to question beating the congestion in Dakar. This time, please read for me. Rickshaws. Destinations.
Cheaper in the city center than they are outside the city center, and are usually agreed with the passengers and residents. Dakar has a large number of isolated shops, completely classified.
Thank you. So apart from price, he said, describe one advantage for passengers of this competition. There's an increasing competition, right, of rickshaws in Dakar. So what is an advantage? It is an advantage. It's an advantage. You want to say something? Okay. It becomes an advantage. When competition increases, it is an advantage to consumers because it gives consumers more choice to make. Aside price, said aside price here. So the other thing is that consumers will have more choice to make. Is it clear? So yeah, the larger number of vehicles competing means that there's a lot of choice, which means it is easier for passengers to negotiate with others to get rickshaw. Is it clear? Competition will increase. Consumer choice will increase. If competition increases, prices will fall. But instead, we should talk about something else aside price. Consumer choices improves. Quality of the product and services will improve. That's another reason, and that advantage for the business. Is it clear? We move on, please. They said, with reference to the information given in beating the congestion in Dakar, explain one reason why prices for journey using an auto rickshaw might be higher outside the city center. That means that they are higher outside Dakar. So why would it be? Why is it cheap in the city center and outside the city center it's expensive? That's the question. So the first reason why it might be like that is that one, most of the population stays inside Dakar. They said 70 million of the population stays in Dakar. So that means there are a lot of customers in Dakar. Yes or no? So it means it will be cheaper for them to get it because consumers or the drivers will have more customers to deal with. Do you get it? Unlike maybe outside the city center, they have fewer people to deal with. So then there is less business outside the city center than inside the city center. So if there's less business, prices will be high because businesses want to try to maximize revenue. And the only way to maximize revenue with little demand is to increase the price. Do you get it? If you have less demand is like you don't have more people. If you have less people here and you want to maximize revenue, you can only increase the price. You get it? You have 50 people here to sell to. They have 1,000 people to sell to over there. How can you meet up? You can only meet up by increasing the price here because you can't increase the number of customers. The customers are there, but they cannot increase. So the only way you can do, what you can do is to increase the price. Yes. Is it clear, please? The next one is a lack of space. Abdurrahman, wait for me, please. A lack of space. In many business cities. Parking system, APS, yeah. These are car parks stacked.
The driver takes the car to the
entrance.
Then technology takes over. Placing every car on
placing each car.
Each car racks. One above the other. This allows many cars to be parked in a very small area.
Thank you. Not only do they offer a more practical use of space than traditional multi-story car parks, but they cost less to build. The drivers benefit from cheaper parking fees and they save time. So, with reference to this information and your knowledge about economics, assess the extent to which changes in technology will reduce the shortage of car parking spaces in city center. First, without the use of technology, the demand for parking space will increase. Yes or no? Without the use of technology, the demand for parking space will increase. So now there's technology. What is technology going to do? Technology is going to make it easier to have more parking space with a small cost, with a reduced cost, because there's technology. Remember, one of the factors that increases supply is advancement in technology. One of the factors that increases the quantity supply is advancement in technology. Yes or no? So with advancement in technology from Japan, the car space becomes smaller and contains more cars. I've said two things there. The first thing I said is without technology, there will be high demand for car space. Two, technology has made it easier to have cheaper car space at a reduced price. Three, the third one about this is because there's advancement in technology, the supply for car space will shift where? Rightward. Which means that the equilibrium quantity or the equilibrium price will become less. Do you understand? We've said four things there. But the problems about it, because they said we should assess it, there are problems too. The first problem about this is that one, the demand for cars, might increase more than the space available. That means there might be more cars increasing than the number of space available because people continue to buy more cars. Do you understand? So that's the first point. The second point about it is even for the supply curve to shift rightward, it might take time because it is technology. And when we talk about technology advancement, it takes time to put things together. Do you understand? So because it takes time to adjust to these norms, we might not see the supply curve shifting rightward immediately. Do we get it or not? We are talking about the problems that they might encounter. The first one is about the demand for cars. Cars might increase more than the available space, which means it's not changing anything. Another problem is that the supply curve might shift rightward, but it's going to take time because we're talking about technology. We're talking about thinking of space, thinking about there's other factors that might make it not easy to change immediately. Is it clear? We move on, please. Question 3. Are we there? Question 3. They said a product has an income elasticity of demand of 0 minus 0.6. What is income elasticity? Income elasticity is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in the level of income. So if we have a negative income elasticity, it is for an inferior goods, an inferior good. So all inferior goods have what? Negative elasticity. Yeah? Inferior goods are goods that the level of the consumption reduces as the level of income rises. Inferior goods are what? Goods that their consumption, their demand reduces as the level of income rises. So those goods that you think of whenever you have money, that you want to buy whenever you have money, we call them normal goods. Those goods that you don't want to buy when you have a lot of money, they are considered as inferior goods. Is it clear?
Yeah.
All right. We go to inferior D. Is it clear? So the next one, they said, which one of the following is a diseconomy of scale? When you talk about diseconomy of scale will occur when the average cost of production continues to increase during expansion. You are expanding your business, but you are witnessing increase in the average cost of production. So what would have caused an increase in average cost of production here? Increase in productivity is economies of scale. An increase in bureaucracy, I told you bureaucracy already. Bureaucracy means some people that are not fit for the job are taking the job. So this could lead to what? It's economy of scale. That means, the company is expanding. Because the company is expanding, is expanding, you are giving someone a job that doesn't know how to do the job. It will mess up the job. Isn't it?
Yes.
A decrease in the cost of research and development is a reduction in average cost. A decrease in government regulation. Government rules and regulation are, we call it, listen please. A decrease in government regulation is called deregulation. What do I call it? Deregulation. They could ask in the exams, define deregulation. Deregulation means a reduction or decrease in government regulation. Is it clear? So all these things will help expansion, except bureaucracy. Is it clear?
That's what bureaucracy.
Yes, B. Yeah. So we'll move on. So they said, using the diagram below, draw the effects of a minimum wage being set above equilibrium wage. Label the new equilibrium quantity of labor demanded and the new equilibrium quantity of labor supplied. The first thing you have to put in your mind is this. Based on this graph, if the minimum wage, Sam, please look at me, please. If the minimum wage is set above the equilibrium wage, something is going to happen to the quantity supplied, something is going to happen to the quantity supplied. Quantity demanded of labor for labor and the quantity supplied of labor will be affected. How does it affect the quantity supplied of labor? Because the wage rate has increased from WE to maybe W1. It will mean that workers that have jobs, workers will get more pay. Yes or no? So people will be willing to work. The supply for labor will shift rightward from S to S1. So that means our quantity supply, the quantity supply of labor will be in front of QE. What I'm saying is the demand, the supply of labor will be above QE. So we're going to have our demand because the supply of labor will increase from SL to SL1. Do you understand? This is supply of labor. It will increase rightward. It will move rightward from from SL to SL1. So our new supply curve will be above or will be in front of QE. So our QS will be in front of QE. Do you get it or not? This is QE. You are seeing QE, right? So in front of QE, you're going to have QS because the supply of labor would have shifted rightward. Then the demand for labor will shift leftward. Why? Because firms will not be willing to pay more. An increase in the minimum wage rate means that firms have to pay more to workers. This will reduce the number of workers firms are willing to employ. So the quantity demanded for labor will fall, and shifting it toward leftward, below QE, behind QE, sorry. Do you get it? So our QE, in front of QE, we're going to have QS. Behind QE, we're going to have QD. Because the quantity demanded for labor will shift leftward from DL1 to DL2. And the new equilibrium from DL to DL1. And our new equilibrium wage will be W1. Do you get it? Do you understand or not? The new equilibrium wage rate will be W1 above this one. Then the quantity demanded for labor will shift leftward. So from DL to DL1. The quantity supply of labor will shift rightward from SL to SL1. So QE in the middle, QS in front of QE, QL behind QE. Is it clear?
Yes.
Then we have this. Firms in Canada, please read for me. Stop that, please. Please read for me, just a second. Firms in Canada.
Firms in Canada, the most developed country, have been struggling to find the labor needed for specialized positions such as computer engineers and web designers. The Global Talent Stream is a government program that provides firms with a quick way to hire skilled foreign workers.
Continue, please.
High skilled foreign workers, high costs and long time to meet.
Put your head up, please. Put your head up. And you're supposed to see what he's reading. Continue, please.
Also, Canadians for training. Also, a processing fee is available for each new employee. Firms that welcome the program.
Thank you. So yeah, with the reference of the data above and your knowledge of economics, analyze why Canadian firms may have been struggling to hire the labor they need. So why is it difficult for Canadian firms to have the workers they wanted? The first reason is this. Please look at me, please. The first reason that might occur, the first reason why firms might struggle, not even Canadian now. One of the reasons why firms might struggle to get or employ workers they need are one, maybe there are no workers that are skilled or that have been trained on that aspect. They would have needed, here they said, computer engineers and web designers. So it means it is a special skill. So they might not have people, or they might have less people that are being trained on this kind of job. So because there are less people, that means the supply of labor for this kind of job is less. Do we understand? So there are less people that are trained or educated or qualified to do this job. That's the first reason. The second reason is about geographical location. Based on what they said Canada is the world's second largest country. So the geographic location might be difficult for workers to move. There might not be what geographical mobility of labor. Workers might find it difficult to move around in search of such job. So because they cannot move around, it might be difficult for Canadian firms to find workers. And the third reason is because they're talking about skilled foreign workers. Foreign workers. So it might make that other countries are paying more to web designers or computer engineers than what Canada is paying. It makes Canada unattractive to foreigners to come do their job there. Is it clear?
Yeah.
We move on, please. I think this is the last one, right?
There is still a big question.
Okay. Yeah. So here is a product. I'm going to read it quickly. Productivity is a measure of how efficiently goods and services are produced, and is the single most important determinant of the country's per capita income. What is per capita income? Per capita income is the total income divided by the population. Is that clear? Okay, great. Canada's labor productivity growth has been lower than that of other leading economies for many decades, reducing its international competitiveness. Since 2011, however, Canada's labor productivity has greatly improved. It is now the third most productive of the 16 leading economies. Wow. So with reference to what I just read, they said we should assess the extent to which an increase in education and training is the best way to increase productivity. Please take note. The first thing you have to do is to define what productivity is. Productivity is what? Output measured with inputs. Productivity is what? Output divided by inputs. Is that clear? So now, what are the importance of education? One, education and training will improve people's skills. So if skills are improved, It reduces the gap of what you know and what you don't know. Listen, with education and training, I said it in the class yesterday, education will not make people to be rich. Rather, education would allow you to become flexible, to learn, to relearn, and to unlearn. Do you get what I just said there? Education is not to make you rich. Rather, it gives you the flexibility to learn, to relearn, and to unlearn. So, with education, the gap between what you know and what you don't know will reduce. With training, what you don't know, you start knowing them. So, let's assume that what you don't know is up to date. With training and education, it reduces, and it's off. So that's the first advantage of education. The second one, with training, workers become more motivated. Yes or no? When you train your workers, they are more motivated because they are knowing things, and it means that the company is seeing them as value added. So training will improve the motivation of workers. And if workers are motivated, they increase their productivity. It will lead to efficiency, yes or no? The third one, I wrote improved human capital. Yeah, we're talking about human capital. We're talking about the skills, the knowledge of people. So if the knowledge of people increases through education, productivity will increase. Is it clear? But what are the problems about training and education? The first problem about, because he said we should assess it. The first problem about training and education is that it is expensive. Training is cost, it's expensive. So that's the first reason. Another reason is that firms are reluctant to train workers. Why? Because when workers are being trained, they become more attractive to other firms. So you might lose workers because they are being trained and being skillful to your competitors. Is it clear? Any questions about that? We move on. Question 4. So for question 4, they said, this is a graph for demand and supply. Using the information in figure 6, are you guys there? Using the information in figure 6, calculate the excess supply of goods in the market at a price of $50. You're advised to show your working. Please note, let's go back to the graph. What is excess supply? Excess supply is set when the price is set above the equilibrium price. So when excess supply will occur, if the price of a product is set above the equilibrium price. What is equilibrium price? Equilibrium price is the price of agreement between the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied. So we have the equilibrium price here to be around 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from 30 to 40, the equilibrium price is at 1, 2, 3, 33. Do you see it there? The equilibrium price is 33. Can you find it there? Yeah, the equilibrium quantity is also what? 1, 2, 3, 33. You count the spots. You count the box there. You said how you should look at it. You speak English, please. Can you get it down? You should critically check things. It's important. It's okay. You can see it, right? Please speak English. It's okay. Let's just continue, please. We have, can you find it, please? The equilibrium, listen, we have where the demand and the supply curve meet is the equilibrium point. The demand and supply curve met at what? At 33. Yes or no? Great. So our equilibrium quantity is 33. The equilibrium price is 33. Any price above the equilibrium price will lead to excess supply. Any price below, listen, please. Any price below the equilibrium price will lead to excess demand. So the excess supply is from where the demand curve starts from, the supply curve. We have now for the excess supply, we're talking about excess supply, right? For excess supply is between, they gave us a price.
Yeah.
They said if the market price is 50, calculate the excess supply. Now the market price is at 50. The difference between the excess supply is from where the price is 50 is 20 here, right? 20 and and 50. So the difference between them is 50 minus 20, which is 30. So excess supply is what? 30. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
No, I will explain it again. The market price is set at 50. You can see the supply curve at 50, yes or no? And you can see the supply curve at 50, yes or no? So take it down, take the supply curve down, it goes to 20. Take the demand curve down, or take the supply curve down, it goes, sorry, take the demand curve down, it goes to 20, the supply curve down to 50. So 50 minus 20 is the excess supply. 50 minus 20, which is 30. Is it clear? We move on. The last question, why? Yes. Yes, sir.
We still have 2 months.
Okay. They said competition and market authority warns online sellers about collusion. Okay, for collusion, let's just quickly read. They said the Competition and Market Authority, CMA, is a UK government department that aims to increase competition. It has reminded online sellers of electrical equipment that collusion is illegal and can result in serious penalties. The CMA stated that buying electrical equipment online, such as laptops and game consoles, means consumers can search a wide range of deals from many different sellers. However, it also stated that collusion is a threat. With reference to this information and your knowledge of economics, analyze why collusion may be disadvantaged. What is collusion itself? Collusion means businesses coming together, they collide to give a fixed price. You get it? They collide to give prices. So this means wherever you go to, you meet the same price. That is what collusion is. But the CMA is saying what it is illegal. So now they said, with reference to this, analyze why collusion will be a problem, it's disadvantage for online consumers. The first reason is that collusion will reduce consumers' ability to buy more, because at that point in time, prices are the same everywhere. So firms have come together to set price. That's the first thing. The second thing is that with fixed price, competition reduces for online consumers. You understand? For online consumers, they don't have other choice than to buy the price they have. So that means the price of laptops are the same everywhere. The price of game consoles are the same everywhere, which means consumers are vulnerable to such situations. The third problem here is that firms will make more profits now. And as a result of that, they won't allow other firms to come into the market. If firms are able to make more profit in this situation, they would want to create a barrier to entry for new firms to come in, because they want to make all that profit to themselves alone. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Now we have figure 7.
The last one.
So for figure 7, they said market share. So these are market share. The largest market share is from Albert N. And second is Super Uni. The third is Jumbo. And go like that, right? So with reference to this data, evaluate how firms might be influenced by oligopoly. So first, we have to define what oligopoly is. Oligopoly or oligopolistic is a market structure where you have few large firms dominating the market. Few large firms are dominating the market, just like what is happening here. Albert, Super, and Jumbo are dominating the market. The rest are coming up. Do you understand? So that is the first thing you have to define. Now, if large firms, so what are the impact of oligopoly? If large firms dominate the market, it means those large firms are producing more. As a result, they will enjoy economies of scale. The large firms will enjoy economies of scale. Means they can sell at a lower price. And selling at a lower price might make other competitors leave the market because they won't be making profit. That's the second reason. The third reason is firms in this situation might be able to invest more on advertisement. The larger firms might be able to invest more on advertisement. And if they can do that, smaller firms trying to come in might find it difficult to spend so much on advertisement. These are the influence of oligopoly. But what are the problems the large firms can face with oligopoly? One, smaller firms might start thinking about having a niche market. Smaller firms might start thinking of having a niche market. A niche market is market for specific customers. So instead of them continuing to produce the same product as others, they will specialize on certain aspect of product or specific customers. Another problem is that these large firms might also face non-pricing factors, such as customer loyalty, what else can they face? What else can they face? I think I wrote customer loyalty. Yeah, I remember. The problems they can face that are non-pricing factors are one, customer loyalty, like I said. Customer loyalty does not mean you are a big or small firm. It only means that customers like their product. They don't want to even come to you. As big as you are, they don't want to come to you. Another problem that the large firms might face is what we call it? Customer service. Customer service. How they treat their customers. So if you are a large firm and you're not treating your customers well, your customers will leave to the smaller firms that are treating their customers well. Yes or no? And the last problem is that in as much as you are big, you should also maintain that position. If you don't maintain that position, you will lose it to firms that are coming up. Yes or no? You are so big, but if you cannot maintain your position, you're going to lose your position. That's why they used to say there's no permanent champion. You can only be a defending champion. You can't be a permanent champion. Champions will change. Is it clear? Do you have any question? So stop here.
So,
We're done.